I think there's a couple ways to look at it. If we start this, I think it's something that we want to look at forming soon, committees of some sort to look at this. I mean, we don't want to wait and see what we can put in the budget next year, or after, we're already forgot about it.
Yeah.
And don't know who's going to be up here in 2 years, more or less 4 years. So if we're going to do this as a council, we're committed to saying, okay, in
A 5-year plan.
3-year or 5-year, if you're doing a 5-year, you're gonna wanna start now. If you're doing a 3-year, definitely wanna start
Yeah.
now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay?
And that's what Burbach said.
And build this, how we wanna build it, and I'm not necessarily saying who we're going to have build it or go through even, you know. But, because in 3 years, everything could change.
Yep.
We know costs are gonna change rapidly.
Yeah.
But we also know that, you know, at that time, we don't know who we'll go through or what we'll do or whatnot. So we're almost starting back at 0, which is fine.
And we're not gonna have a baby pool this summer.
No.
No, or
That's-
next
that's
3
over.
years.
Yeah.
Or the
Or
next-
next 3 years, 4 years.
Yes,
Because we're
and-
not going to.
No.
But
Okay.
I still like the idea of, and I think that's one thing that the guy from Burbach really emphasized, was this is a municipal pool. You've got basically one vessel of water with a 0 entry, people jump in and out of it. It's not an aquatic center. We're never gonna build an aquatic center. And so that's what we wanna build a pool that we can afford. And in order to afford it, we're gonna build a small pool.
Yeah.
Or a no bells, no whistles pool. It's just, you know, but the size of our pool, there's nothing wrong with the size of our
No.
pool
No.
at all. So I wouldn't add extra 20 feet either way on our pool if we built a new one. I just wouldn't. But, you know, and again, I have no problem, but I just look at that and I'm thinking, you know, we have the money. If we have a plan, and that might take 6 months, but that bathhouse could be built next year.
Yeah, it's
But-
And it wouldn't have any
interesting thought.
effect on anything.
But on that same point, Pat, if we're going to do a fundraiser, which we're gonna have to do, okay? Because in 3 years, we're not building our vessel
No.
for 1.5. It's not gonna happen. I don't think you could do it this year.
No.
I agree.
Okay.
No.
He was a good salesman. It works well in his favor,
Yeah.
but you're not building a vessel for 1.5.
And if you leave
But-
some
so-
old plumbing
so-
behind, what's the point?
But at the same time, maybe we're better off to say, okay, we know as a city, we're committed to X dollars that we're going to put towards this. If it's 1.5, 1.6, it sure helps a fundraising group if they're out trying to fund money, when they can already show there's X dollars already put towards this.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
take so much of those X dollars now and put it towards the
can't say
new
we have it.
bathhouse, I'm telling you, when you're doing a fundraiser and you have $1 million showing there versus
200,000 or 300,000.
200,000, people get excited when they see $1 million.
Yeah. And if next budget session, we really get
Correct.
serious about this and
And
throw
pull the
200
numbers.
in, even if we gotta bump something a little bit, we throw 200 at,
Correct.
then all of a sudden, we've got 900,
Looks a lot
and then you
better.
get out the 3-year, we're over the $1 million.
Well, we know we're, and that's just it. So we could say, okay, as a city, we're gonna say, right now, we can commit $1 million because we have so much there now.
To begin with.
And we know in the next 3 years, we are really gonna look at this pool.
Yep.
So when I know if I was doing a fundraiser, I would be excited about starting out with $1 million.
Yep.
Do you think we should, somehow we gotta get the community involved? We have that pool, can you get a hold of the people that,
Well-
if any
I
of them
think we
would,
need to just.
We've
start
gotta
from
stack 'em.
scratch.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what Burbach
Anybody
wants
that
us
wants
to
to.
do.
Yeah.
He wants us to form a formal pool committee,
I
not
see.
just random people jumping in.
Okay.
There's a certain
it.
I
procedure.
think you need to put in
Yep.
some thought to who you're gonna have on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
because that's probably the first.
Well,
thing
and
we
he
need to do.
offered, and again, you know, again, he would like to build a pool for us,
Yeah.
but he offered help in organizing, in fundraising, which helps us, you know, and then, you know, one way or another, we pay for it, yes, but in the same token, it gets done. He had 30 referendums that he's helped with that all passed.
Yep.
So that's impressive.
So I guess that's kind of what I need to know, if we're leaning towards that, because
Yeah.
he's got an agreement that we will need to approve for him to start the capital campaign and then set up the pool committee. and help us with the fundraising.
So what cost do we owe them?
Aren't we a little bit ahead of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want him to take the charge, but I'd like to
No.
get organized here and then have him help us.
I
You know,
would agree
but-
that.
Who else does pool design?
I would agree with that.
Pool Tech out of Cedar Rapids.
You know, have them make a proposal.
do,
They might surprise you.
Because we're going, right now, I believe, we're gonna have to take care of Burbach for whatever costs.
Oh,
we
yeah.
have right now.
Whatever we
Yep.
owe him.
But
Because-
if we're gonna start with this clean slate, because I know there's some, you know, I need to just first of all, make a commitment with
That
this
we're gonna
group that
do
we're
this.
gonna do something 3 to 5
I
years.
think that's the big thing, and that's the other thing, for our council to make a 5-year commitment.
Well,
That's a little,
Well, you can't bind
we
future
need-
boards.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, what I heard over there as they were selling this
somebody wants a
project,
pool.
they were,
Oh, yeah.
what I heard that day over there was there's possibility they could close our pool within the next 5 years. So if I'm hearing that, then we don't have an option but an agreement
Yeah.
that in 5 years, we're going to do something.
Well, if we don't spend,
Really?
if we don't come up with a new
Because
pool in
we're in
5 years,
code
it won't be
violations.
able to operate. I mean, we have things that are deteriorating now. I don't know, but I like the idea of this 3 to 5 years, Cascade's gonna have a new pool.
I think this
That's
council.
the goal.
That's why I think if we're going to do it, we need to initiate it ourselves pretty quick
First.
here.
Okay.
And be pretty firm on the fact that this is what our goal's going to be.
Yeah.
And
But
if, as a council, we, I'm sorry.
The biggest thing would be get with the previous committee and have
Yes.
everybody sit down and share all the information
Have a meeting,
and get it all,
informational, yep.
everything together and.
And I do,
And these
I do
people
know,
have- Get people that are committed to our
Yeah.
plan.
and in talking to them, and they were soliciting things, they were at that time, running up against the daycare center.
Yeah, there was.
They were raising $1 million, whatever, and somebody that happened to donate money that year, they're done for this year.
Well, I think,
See you next year, that type of,
I like the idea of, putting it out there to Pool Tech or other companies and seeing what they can do or
What
what they
ideas
have.
At least
there.
have them come and talk to us.
Come and talk.
yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna start out at zero,
Yes.
then let's start out at zero.
Yeah, and I like the conceptual type stuff where they showed the pool and the zero entry. One thing about the zero entry is we use the same water, the same filter system, and it can also help with the handicap and the elderly. You don't need steps then, because they can zero entry from the zero entry. And then the circulation is all the same water, so you don't need special pumps and, that type of thing. So the zero entry into whatever pool we make is really a plus for cost and for maintenance.
I think something we need to throw out here a little bit, though, is, we're talking 3 years, 5 years, et cetera. I think, first of all, we need to know what the DNR requirements are as far as
Yeah,
continuation of permits. I don't wanna go 2.5 years and find out that
it's all
we
changed.
don't have, something's changing, or there's potentially something changing. The other thing is, I guess there's some issues over there right now. I think Public Works, Marty
Mhm.
has a permit, I think we should be able to find out from him as well. Is there things that aren't gonna be there functioning 2 years from now or 3 years? Just
Yeah.
so we know. If
What
they say,
maintenance?
with minor repairs, we can get by 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that, but we need to get a little more information from them.
On how,
We don't mind
As to what's operating, what's not.
$1,000 pump, but we don't want a $25,000 issue here in a year or two, or as we're leaning.
Well, and part of it too is that you don't wanna have to shut down the pool either.
No.
Because that's a whole new set of regulations. We're getting by now that
Right.
we're operating currently.
Well, really, it's up, Marty and Phil know the pool. They know what it needs. They also know what it takes to operate it. And they, so I think we need their input on what if we don't do anything with the pool for 2 years? Or 3, because if we're gonna wait 5 to build a new one, this pool has to run.
Yeah.
Can it run?
Mhm.
That's the big, and that's Marty and Phil helping us out.
Yep, that's,
And the town will be in a better financial situation in 3, 4, 5 years than we are now.
well, I think we still need to put a committee together.
Yep.
And give them direction as
Yep.
to what
And we're,
council's looking for.
So, on that committee, which I'm not volunteering, but,
Well,
do we wanna commit a couple council members to that?
I mean, yeah,
You're
if you
gonna
wanna
need
get
to.
somebody else's opinion, I mean, opinion other than, Dave Burbach's, his opinion was not to have council members on it at all.
Yeah.
Not
You,
to
me,
keep
none of us.
ourselves off of
Yeah.
it completely.
I mean, do you
Well-
have all this group present with the previous pool committee and share ideas and then do a selection process and come up with,
A group.
yeah?
Yep. And
I-
the council needs to be in because,
Council needs
let me
to be.
think, who's
If I was
signing the
Dave
check?
Burbach, I
Exactly.
wouldn't want the council involved.
I don't
either.
I
want,
think it's good to give
mean-
guidance,
Yeah.
you know. I
just
think
to be
that's-
present at the meetings. I think
Yeah,
we need
I
some
mean-
And he was okay with
representation.
that.
Right, you
Yeah.
just don't want to,
be driving it.
right.
No.
No,
If-
no,
if-
you're right.
I don't think that's right ethically anyway, because if you've got one council member that says,
For
I
or
want
against."
this,
Yeah.
then it's not the council.
But in the
Yeah.
past,
Yeah.
in the past, when we had council members involved with the public committees,
Mhm.
a council member never was the head of that committee, never
Right.
headed up the
Yeah.
I
committee.
agree with that.
They never did.
Yes.
Right.
More
Right.
eyes and ears,
Right. They were always
answer
just
questions,
a member there, but
a
somebody else.
liaison between.
Right.
Yeah, I think to do it ethically, you really should take turns. You
Well,
know,
if-
one
you
pool
know,
committee meeting, one council member goes to, and another one
Yeah.
does.
Or if, Deanna is
Because it's a high
administrator,
ticket
to
item.
attend some and, but, so, we wanna have some kind of a open house gathering of people and then come up with a pool committee.
How
or-
was the committee selected the last time? Anybody
They were-
recall?
They put themselves
They-
together.
Formed it
They came
themselves.
Formed
forth
it themselves.
themselves.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's nice, but I don't think it hurts either to be a little bit proactive and put people on it that maybe you want to put on it. People that showed interest, people that were at the
Oh, yeah.
open house. You know?
It's imperative that if we're making the commitment tonight, it's imperative that we get people to serve on that committee.
That
They
are
have to
committed
buy
to
in.
it.
We have to have people that are willing to step up and
Yep.
get
Well,
involved.
we're saying tonight, we're gonna build a new pool, how are we gonna do it?
Right.
To everybody.
Maybe what we should do is have a workshop where we have all of us there, invite the
And-
people that were on the original
Yeah.
committee,
Yeah.
and then anybody else that we think should be on the committee.
Put everything on the
We're
table.
Yeah.
open to anybody.
Right.
And
decide
there's
how
the
we
time.
Decide from there how
You know,
we're
if
gonna
you,
go forward.
if you're interested in a pool in Cascade, there's the time to be there.
Right.
You know,
Officially, whose duty is it to assign those people to a committee if it's being formed by the?
Don't
Do you
know.
Can you find out for us
Yeah.
on that, Deanna? All right, I mean,
Okay.
there won't be any decisions made other than that tonight, nothing.
let's have a night.
Taking
I
a
guess,
motion.
I guess the only thing I'd like to know is, want to move forward with other pool companies coming and talking with us?
Oh, I would
Giving
sure think so.
designs
I
and
would
all
have pool
that,
tax.
because we're starting
Yeah.
all
I'd
over,
have
okay,
pool tax.
And because it's a 3 to 5 year plan, not a 6 months plan,
Yeah.
you know,
okay.
but,
Yeah, because I
And
believe,
the other thing we need to do is, as this thing goes through, is really beat the bushes, Deanna, any which way there's any grants, any kind of funding.
There's some.
Because sometimes that's something that slips
Yeah.
through.
Exactly.
You know, we get working about bricks and mortar, and there are maybe possibilities.
okay.
Okay.
all right. Move on to proclamation, Junior Achievement of the Heartland Day, April 7th, 2016. Everybody had a chance to review that?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
We need a
motion.
I think it's just basically the mayor's
Yeah.
you're just
Just a
doing
recognition.
recommendation. I mean, there's really no discussion on this, I wouldn't think.
But you'll have to have council approve it.
No.
Okay.
No.
It's just, you're making them aware that you've
Okay,
proclaimed
we
this.
will be proclaiming that then.
your first executive order.
And there you go.
All right. Let us move on to discuss holding Community Pride Day, April 23rd, in the city of Cascade. This is for
They do this every year.
Clean up and
Yes,
Have they done it in the past?
school does
They do
this
it every
every
year.
year.
Oh, okay, I
Yeah.
thought we were down on this other day.
Well,
that's-
yeah, the school does theirs every
Sure.
year.
Right.
And from that, someone came to my office and said, what if we do a community Pride Day? And like the Saturday following the Cougar Pride Day, you know, have everyone in the community help out, clean up their yard, clean up, you know, fields, clean up the whole town, so the whole town looks good.
Even all the approaches and
Yeah,
everything else.
everything, you know, out in the highway. And that's where it came out that maybe to discuss having ATVs allowed, just because they can access the fields and the off-ramps and different things like that easier than people walking. And of course, there would be, you know, strict guidelines on people using those. It's just not having kids running them. They have to have their license, you know, a certain time period, and they have to be cleaning up garbage, you know.
So you're talking about the on-ramps, off-ramps?
Yeah, just
Everything.
everything, the
Even
whole
like the
town.
field down by you,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
walk down
everything.
through there.
Yeah.
My goodness, I don't know who farms that, but there must be 500 pounds of bags
FFA.
and stuff out there.
That weekend is Dubuque Community Days of Caring. It's similar type thing where they ask people to put together groups, clean up. Like our whole office, we decided to go support Asbury, and we paint park benches, park shelters, pick up garbage. And there's a lot of different things you can do. The city provides us gloves and bags and maybe you know, pop or whatever. But it's amazing how, once that gains momentum, how many organizations want to take place and how much work you can get done in
Yeah.
1 or 2 days.
Right.
I think all of it's a great idea. One note to that, I've had people mention to me, especially out by our bypasses, you know, coming in, wondering what it would take to find a way to keep those groomed. I've had them up and volunteer to take care of them. If we can help with a mower or something, they'll volunteer to cut it, clean it, those type of things, especially like the one on this end of town, and possibly anything we can clean up on the corners up on the far, you know.
There's a bunch of trees that are planted there. We gotta be real careful to
no.
keep
Well, they're
them.
up big enough
You know?
if there are survivors at all.
Right.
Are you
And
talking about the interchanges?
Yeah.
Right.
Do we have to get any DOT?
Well,
Well,
that's
the
the
DOT,
only-
the DOT would mow it for us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
they
a
will.
guy at the
If you put,
DOT that
if you
will
ask
mow.
them, they'll come and mow it.
I think we need to look at getting them cut. I'm sorry for the trees. They've been there for a long time
Yeah.
and they've not done nothing. Nobody's taking care of them.
Yeah.
So the problem with that is
Mowing it.
the weeds are higher than the trees.
Yeah,
So
but
once
I
you
don't-
run into that problem, now we have to look at what's best for the city.
I
individual
think,
can
I
pull
agree
those
with that.
trees.
If that was mowed once or twice
Keep
a
it
year,
cut down.
it would be manageable, right? When, you know, again, or heaven forbid, you know, sprayed once in a while.
I mean-
Just so there's grass instead of weeds.
I mean, if
But
there's
I
a
like
way-
the cover, but it
Yeah,
doesn't,
that's- I
but it
mean,
doesn't have to
there-
be ugly cover.
It's
know.
ugly cover.
Yeah.
And it would be nice, because it really, I mean, if you drive up, and I'll use some places, for instance, look at Farley, look at
Epworth,
Epworth.
Oh, Farley's is
It-
tremendous.
it's
That takes a
tremendous.
tremendous commitment.
It
Those
does.
people work, they're out there
Oh, yeah.
every day.
It
Yeah.
does. But boy,
God.
if we
Yeah.
could get something in place like that, it adds so much to your community.
I would like to see it if, you know, the DOT is never, well, they'll come out and they'll do like a third of it. You know, you've
Yeah,
seen
that's
them out there.
partially because of the trees.
Yeah.
Well,
They're,
yeah.
Well, 'cause
If we can
wasn't
fly-
some, didn't something
The
happen?
DOT has
they
regulations. You
flagged
can't
it.
cut
They-
anything over an inch.
And they go out, and they mow the weeds and
And
they
they mow
want the other
certain
stuff.
areas.
Certain areas and
Weeds
stuff,
and-
but, I'm all for that. I think both of our intersections, this one out here is really pretty simple because
Yeah,
it just,
there's
but
not
this
a
one
lot.
coming from Dubuque, it's not pretty.
It's not
There's
pretty.
nothing nice about it.
Let's talk to them and
Yep,
see
yep.
what,
And help us out, but also, like you say, some volunteers mowing or.
And I've had 3 different guys say they would work something out to keep that cut down.
okay.
Right.
We can further
But-
that part of the discussion, but that's a good
Right.
point.
Just a
Greg.
side-
So,
Okay. Just a side note on those ATVs, we had that discussion here a couple of years ago, year and a half ago. You know, they have to make sure that they know they can't operate on First Avenue, 136, and I think the Garrett
other than
Road.
crossing or,
Main highways.
Yeah.
Right,
Can't-
they
They
can,
can't, they can't be on,
right, they can
They
cross, but
can,
they can't
they
be
can
on.
cross the bridge though. They what?
Any street that's over 25 miles an hour, they can't operate.
Do we really need
Right.
the
But they
ATVs?
can
It was
Cross.
just, it was
Yeah,
just
okay.
suggested
It's just for
to
one
get
day.
some of the
That
fields.
means that we can't have a Fourth of July
And ju-
parade.
just
Like
for
out
one
in the
day.
fields,
Yeah,
we'd send them
right.
out there, like what I'm saying, where
Right.
Greg
See,
says there's all kinds of
This is a
distractions.
road I
Just
don't
so that
even
somebody
like.
doesn't have to walk all the way
I mean,
around.
Okay,
I
everybody, one at a
understand the
time
rule,
here.
I understand the
One
rule.
at a time.
Okay.
Just, all right, let's get back to the discussion. I mean, as far as putting the, that on the calendar to do, I mean, who would be in charge of the projects that are kind of having a list and organizing the people and?
Well, you said
Does that
someone
fall on
came
you?
down. Would maybe that someone,
Possibly.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what, you need somebody to already take control.
I will talk with
Well,
him.
yeah, and like, for instance, even the cleanup now, just the other day, all the way out there at Fillmore and 151, they cleaned that whole thing up there, and that's just a walk around picking up garbage on the, and we could say, do you want to volunteer to clean up the intersection or something? But, you know, the ATVs, I don't want them running up and down Main Street, but they've got to be able to cross the bridge.
And when we do it, we should have somebody on duty that day,
Oh, yeah.
just to have
Yep.
one of you around.
He's
Yeah.
already volunteered.
Well,
Or said
that's
he would.
25 anyway,
Yeah.
across the bridge.
Yeah.
Once you get down to Fillmore Street, really that's 25
Yeah.
all the way to
Yeah.
this intersection.
And, you know, everybody just be reasonable and cross the highway when you can, run on some side streets, you know, just don't come through town at 45 miles an hour on your ATV.
And they'll have to obey the traffic.
Yes.
Right.
I mean,
If they're doing 100 down First Avenue, yeah, we're probably gonna get a ticket.
Okay. And and again, this is not a group that's gonna be doing that. These are people out here to clean stuff
Right,
up.
we're trying to clean up the
You know.
community.
Well, the main thing is just to recognize the law there.
I think let's give it a try. Maybe it's something that'll grow.
Right.
and
Yep.
you're gonna get more volunteers when they don't have to try carrying it everywhere.
Oh, yeah,
So you're talking one day.
yeah.
We're not talking a week or a
Yeah.
year, we're talking one day.
And well, all of these things that come up, we have to be willing to try it to see how it works.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, we just won't do that anymore.
Yep.
You know, so,
April 23rd isn't very far away.
no,
Organized, especially for
No.
a first.
And it might, but you just
Time around.
might as well try it. If it's a small group,
Is
Yeah.
this something?
I'm not being, I'm just being.
Realistic.
You need to be
Right.
realistic about
ideally, what you'd
the-
do is we'd put it into paper and we'd say anybody that wants to volunteer would be down at City Hall at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Is this
It
something,
wouldn't hurt for whoever is gonna
is this
head
something
it
the
up to.
chamber would head up, or the garden committee, or
Probably the enhancement committee.
enhancement committee maybe to head up?
Yeah.
I think would
But-
be good.
Or the
That's a good
garden.
thought.
But to get people here, just say, meet at 9, and then by then, or somebody will have to say, this intersection, that intersection.
And if we had
the
somebody
City
like
parks, wherever.
the
I think that-
enhancement committee,
Yeah, I
or,
think there's kind of a lot of prep and
Yeah.
organization that
Yeah.
needs to get put into it to, so I'm not opposed to it, so anybody wanna make a motion regarding?
But I'll make a motion that we hold a Community Pride Day on April 23rd, 9 AM to 6 AM, seeking volunteers that would help to clean up the city,
second.
wherever that is.
Moved by Carney, seconded by Stainer. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Unanimously approved. All right, Cascade Municipal Utility Board appointment. And that was for Alan Ryder.
Nobody else put anything in for it?
Nope, he's the
I
only one we
see.
got.
Nobody.
All right,
So do we need to
was
vote on that
advertised
then?
yeah.
Yes, it was
Council has to
advertised.
approve
Okay.
it, Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
Okay,
We approve Alan Ryder's term for another 6 years.
second.
Moved by Carney, seconded by Stainer. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Carried. All right, city attorney, RFPs for a city attorney.
Just go over it. I sent out 7 RFPs. I received 3 back. I checked 4 to 5 references on each attorney that submitted to us. Reference scores were all positive, but the ones for Patrick O'Connell from Lynch Dallas were overwhelmingly impressive. the thing I liked, I guess, they have 9 professionals in their office that have different areas of expertise. So if we had a building code thing come up, or a condemnation thing come up, there's a certain attorney that has expertise in those particular fields. The other thing that impressed me is they respond timely. Usually within a couple hours, but it is their policy to respond somehow within 24 hours. So if I sent an email asking a question, they would at least respond saying, I will look into it, I will get back to you in a couple days or something. The other thing I liked is they give, if they're working on some projects for us, they give a weekly update on where they are with the projects.
So where are they from?
Cedar Rapids.
Cedar Rapids.
So that would be my recommendation to go with them.
Sounds
Do
good.
they, the fees,
Actually, they are
Similar-
cheaper than what we're currently paying.
And we could see that or review that to sign it, you know, we would be signing a contract for
Right.
them, yeah, so we'd see it.
And they suggested doing like a 1-year trial, and then after 1 year, if we're happy, they're happy, then we would do a longer-term contract with them.
That's fine.
I looked online, they represent Macokota, I believe McGregor, there's a list of about 6, 7 cities that they represent, so apparently. I assume they're.
Yeah,
have
I
done-
checked
done
with
well.
Burlington, Clinton, Tipton, Creston, and Wellman were some that they had listed, and I checked with all of them, and everybody was very happy with them.
Well, let's do
do we
what
need
you
a
can
motion
do.
for that?
Yes.
Could I make a motion that we use this Patrick O'Connell with Lynch Dallas?
Second.
All right, motioned and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to advertise for bids for the manhole project.
In your packet, you had 3 of them, and I was talking with Phil today, and since we're doing our new wastewater treatment plant, and our flow rate is high, the infiltration is not as big of issue, but he said the one on Pierce Street we should look at doing, because that's in our RV dump, and we need to change that, so that's not happening. So, I don't know how you guys want to handle that, but
Yeah, and then we're also gonna look into some of this grant money.
Right, from the sponsored
To take care of
projects.
them, some of them.
Southwest.
So
But we might
Phil's
do these-
recommendation maybe would be just do Pierce Street?
yes,
Yeah, 'cause we got,
because some of the others we could.
infiltration's not that big a
Right,
deal
right.
anymore. That
So we
course is
would
kinda out of the
only
barn.
do the one then. But, you know, the whole plan is to continue to peck away, but if we can find some money free
Yeah.
on this
Right.
wastewater sewer plant, then we'd do a bunch of,
Right.
you know, if they'll accept
And we
it.
could always later this year do more.
Oh, yeah.
This is just to get this one going.
Right.
Well, I'd make a motion that we would go out for bids for manhole for Pierce Street and 4th Avenue Southwest.
Second.
Motioned and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Ordinance number 8-16, first reading. An ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Cascade, Iowa by enacting new charges for sewer services in the City of Cascade.
These are the numbers we worked out on our
Yes,
work
So is
session.
this the 1585
yes.
type
Yes.
thing? Okay.
Over the 3 steps of raising the rates.
From what we are to what we need to
Yep.
eventually get to.
Okay.
Well, I'd make a motion that we approve ordinance 0816.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All right, roll call vote.
Napper,
Aye.
Raker,
Aye.
Stainer,
Aye.
Hush,
Aye.
Carney.
Aye.
Resolution number 27-16. Resolution approving transfers between funds in the reserves and to open CDs to get a better return on the money for the City of Cascade.
We ended up with
Had
a
a chance to
good
look
chunk
at
of
those?
money.
Yeah,
That Riverview Fund, we're leaving some in there for the tuck pointing or the whatever we might do, is that River?
yeah, because there is actually.
I think there's about 68,000.
68.
Okay, so there's 18,000 left.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We have almost
Okay,
69,000.
that's fine.
Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 27-16.
Second.
Motioned and seconded. Roll call vote.
Raker,
Aye.
Stainer,
Aye.
Hush,
Aye.
Carney,
Aye.
Nepper.
Aye.
All right. Police report, anything, Fred?